to talk about some super important endometriosis stuff that I just learned and some nervous system stuff and how it correlates. To give a little background knowledge of some of the research that I was just doing about my condition is that I have extremely high FSH and LH blood test levels and extremely low AMH ovarian reserve levels. Last time I got a blood test was it was like 0.02. And every time I've talked to a doctor about it, they've always just given me the above the surface realizations of what that means, but never actually understanding that literally when a woman is under a significant amount of stress, even subconsciously, and they don't even know it, and their body's like trying to tell them that they need to get out of like a situation that's fucking destroying their insides. Basically what's going on is that your brain's trying to pump out hormone levels, which would explain why your FSH and LH levels, like in my situation, I have severe stage 4 endometriosis, underwent one diagnostic laparoscopic surgery with a regular OB, and then had an excision surgery back in April of 2024. And I've only had like 1 or 2 cycles since. We're now in July of 2026. Haven't had menses since December of 2024. So back to what I was saying is that what can happen is your brain is trying to pump out hormones in your body, like screaming for your brain to put it in less scientific terms to make it make sense, because I read it in scientific terms and I had to severely discern it and be like, okay, Google, let's put this in English, please. But basically what that's doing is it's blocking any signals from your brain, the text messages that your brain is trying to send to your reproductive organs. And the endometriosis and the stress and the inflammation and everything behind it is basically blocking it. And every time I've had this discussion with a doctor, they never gave me the underlying holistic things that are happening to my body. They just said, oh, well, your blood test says you're in menopause. At 32 fucking years old, you got me fucked up, boy. My body has been telling me, like, there's something off here. Something isn't right. Something isn't right. When really, it's about removing the stress factors from your life. It's about calming your nervous system, doing breath works, and doing things that actually, like, for instance, if you have a lot of adhesions and you're trying to get rid of fluid retention, I'm speaking from my case scenario, then heavy core workouts aren't going to work. You're going to want to do calm exercise, soothing things like yoga or specific stretches that will actually allow blood flow to your organs. And what's really given me a little bit of hope in my situations, because it is my desire to be a mother. I'm 32 years old and I don't have biological children. I have my 3 cats. They're my babies. I've had them for, how old are they now? We got my oldest, my baby girl, who's staring at me right now. She's like 13. My middle Milo boy, my black cat, my tuxedo boy, he's 11. And my whiskey, he's 9. So the reason why I bring that up is, like, I don't have any biological children, but they're my children. I treat them like they're my own, children, because I love them, and, it is my desire to be a mother. So back to what I was saying is that anytime I've had these conversations with doctors where they're like, yeah, you're in menopause, I'm like, well, no shit, the blood work's saying it, but blood work doesn't always mean anything. Blood work is basically an above the surface depiction on what's going on with your body at that moment. And I'm here to tell you that your body is capable of fucking amazing things, bro. Like, if you go in and do the work, I mean, of course, there's surgical intervention involved when it comes to severe adenomyosis or endometriosis or anything like that. You have to, do surgical intervention in very complex cases if it's best for you. However, if you're trying to calm the underlying reason why that's happening in the first place, you have capacities to reverse that. Now, you have to eliminate all the people that cause you stress in your life. You have to really dig deep and understand, even if you don't even see it yet, that there's people in your life that's causing that significant amount of stress. But you have to really dig deep and look in the mirror and understand why your body's screaming so loud at you, and then you will get the answers. I've been trying to part my hair now this whole time. But I'm running into an issue because there's like this, it's like not straight. So I'm like, fuck. And I was like prolonging brushing my hair because I was trying to brush my teeth and read all of the research I was doing at the same time, because once I'm like heavily into researching something, my brain won't stop and it won't let me do other tasks until I'm able to do that one task. But I will say that's part of like having endo fatigue brain, because if you're like, think of it like, imagine what my poor self and my emotions and all my hormones are going through. I haven't fucking mensed, aka released, in a year and a half. My body is suppressing like a motherfucker, but I'm realizing it's because of the highly stressed induced relationship that I was in for almost 2 years, and the after effects that, you know, happens after a deeply traumatic relationship or breakup or whatever the case may be. And that's like a targeted thing that narcissists do, and that's why you find empaths like me and a lot of people who are resonating with everything that I'm saying. We have these underlying conditions, you know, because we are forced to suppress, especially if you weren't born into like the best dynamic that gives you the nervous system support that you need. Like for me, my mother was, not to trauma dump or anything like that, but my mother was brutally murdered over half of my life ago. So I was never given that nurture that I needed in my important teenage years. So it kind of sets me up for a shitty life to begin with, and then follow that with emotional unavailable people, then that turns us into targets, you know, because we're accepting the things that we were born into, and thinking of it as like, that's just what it is, you know, like that it's your life, that's how love's supposed to go. No, my friend, it's not. Love does not do half the things that any of us, if you're resonating with anything that I say or anything that's on my page, love does not do any of those fucking terrible things that you're going through. And I'm telling you right now, I know this is going to help a lot of endo girlies. Please go within and understand and recognize why you have these stress problems in the first place. Listen to what your womb's trying to tell you. If you feel off around people and something's like screaming at you to not do it, but you do it anyways to people please and just to like feel like you belong, those aren't your people, friend. You got to make sure you like step away from that. And once you're able to step into safety and safe people, you'll find that your symptoms and maybe some of the adhesions will loosen up and heal on its own. Don't hear what I'm not saying. It can't fully heal on its own because a lot of things do need surgical intervention. But if you're trying to approach it in a holistic way, doing these things will help loosen up the adhesions and almost trick your body back into thinking that it's safe once you're able to release those stresses. And you can then adjust your ovarian reserve. Because based on the research that I've done with my extremely low ovarian reserve, it is all significantly due to the fact that my brain and ovary is not communicating, and it's only temporary. And for months, I couldn't correlate that, because when a doctor, like for the longest time, especially when I got diagnosed with this at 30, almost 33 in a few days, I'm like, okay, all these years, I'm like, I trust doctors, right? Like, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to trust doctors. But there's so many more layers to it than that. And doctors are only able to give you the above the surface explanation of the whole thing. It's up to you to understand what caused the chaos in the first place. I hope that helps. I love you guys, and I hope everybody on their endo journey is finding solutions and figuring out ways to live their life with little stress, as much little stress as possible, and to be the advocate for yourself and other girls who are going through the same thing that I am. And that is my goal. I am healing out loud. I am speaking. I'm going to say everything that I'm going to say, and I'm going to post it all over my socials and explain exactly what narcissists, empaths, and the whole dynamic and why it causes dis-ease in the body.